How's it going, everybody? My name is Evan Coleman from Oswego State University, and today I'm going to be talking about arthritis, exercise, different ways that we can ease symptoms such as aerobic exercise, range of motion exercises, strength training, and we're also going to talk about how to stay motivated if you have arthritis and these symptoms become a big hinder on your life. Before going in depth about the exercises that are associated with arthritis, I'd just like to give a brief overview on the statistics associated to show its prevalence and reinforce that it's nothing to be ashamed or embarrassed of. 24% of Americans have arthritis, and this equates to 58.5 million people. It's one of the leading causes of work disability in America, and the medical care costs equate to right around $303.5 billion per year. So what exactly is arthritis? As defined by the Mayo Clinic, arthritis is the swelling and tenderness of one or more joints. The main symptoms of arthritis are joint pain and stiffness, which typically worsen with age. The most common types of arthritis are osteoarthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. This following diagram depicts osteoarthritis, as this causes cartilage, which is the hard, slippery tissue that covers ends of bones where they form a joint, to break down. Rheumatoid arthritis, shown in this next diagram, is a disease in which the immune system attacks the joints, beginning with the lining of joints. Some of the main symptoms that can be seen with arthritis include pain, stiffness, swelling, redness, and decreased range of motion. And tying this all together with the motivational aspect of exercising with arthritis, it's really important for one to know that arthritis is associated with joints, and all joints are based on bone structure. So the muscles that work around the joints, as they strengthen, they can take pressure off of those joints. But if one neglects exercise and they have weakened muscles, this causes the joints to overwork. Along with this, the benefits of exercise, whether it be strength training or aerobic, can lead to strengthening of bones themselves, weight loss, improved sleep, improved mood, improved balance, and increased overall energy. Now, all these tied in together. In the beginning, you may not see the benefits right away, but it's kind of like taking the rust off of an old bike. If you ride it one time, it may still be clinky and not as smooth, but as you oil it and take it on more rides, you can think of your joints like that. And as the muscles strengthen around the joints and the joints learn to take pressure off, that's where we're going to see the symptoms of the arthritis really start to ease. And then when you tie in the improved sleep, the improved energy, it's going to make it easier to exercise over time. So it's very important for one to know that in the beginning, it may seem more challenging to start exercise, but we're going to talk about all the forms that you can do and how to ease into it. So in general, the rule to know to stay motivated is that exercise in the long run will make the arthritis better. So to begin here, we're going to talk about range of motion and strength exercises that one can do every single day. As I talked about before, dealing with arthritis is similar to getting the rust off of an old bike. And what we want to do here is increase that mobility and that range of motion before we start fully strengthening the muscles surrounding the joints. So I'm going to walk through 15 exercises that you can do every single day that will help ease your symptoms. We're going to range from the toes all the way up, all the way through the wrist. So I'll take you through those right now. Go. So the first exercise I'm going to show you here, starting at the feet, is toe curls. This can be done while you're still laying down in bed, or if you want to sit at the end of the bed like me right now. Zoom in on my feet here. So the cues with this, we're going to leave our feet planted straight on the ground, and all we're simply going to do is curl our toes in, and then we're just going to try to flex them up. Just like that. Now, what we're looking for here is around 30 repetitions, and this could be done in several ways. You could do 30 right at the same time. You could do 2 sets of 15. You could do 3 sets of 10. However, you got to break it up for your comfort level. You can do 1 foot at a time. As long as we're getting that range of motion in the toes, there's multiple ways you can do it, and make sure you're at your own comfort level. All right, so now that we've covered the toes, we're going to move on to the ankle. And there's 3 ankle exercises that we're going to have you guys do here. The rep range is going to be the exact same. Shoot for 30, break it up however you'd like. And the first one is called dorsiflexion. So we're gonna have our ankles planted right on the ground. And what we're gonna do here, take your hands, put them right up against the bed, and then you're gonna try to drive your feet up to the ceiling as hard as you can. Just like this. Following 30 repetitions of this, we're gonna do plantar flexion, which is the force of pushing into the ground rather than up. So plantar flexion is gonna look like this. So here, instead of raising the front part of your foot up towards the ceiling, we're raising the heel, the back part. You may feel this in your calves as well. A good cue for this one is to pretend that you're pushing down on a gas pedal. Once you've completed both of those, the final ankle mobility exercise we're going to do is ankle circles. So you can move a little further back on the bed to allow your feet to raise without stress. And you're going to go 1 foot at a time. And a good cue for this, pretend you have a pencil in between your toes and you're trying to spell the letter O. So we're going to go in a clockwise motion here like this. Do 30 repetitions, and then we're going to go the other way. That can be done with both feet, and this is going to cover your toes and your ankles right when you wake up in the morning. So now that we've covered the toes and ankles, we're going to move on to the knee. And the first exercise that we're going to do is called ball kicks. So just like we've been, we're going to stay right at the edge of our bed, and we're going to come out 1 foot at a time, and you're just going to pretend that there's a soccer ball right here and you want to kick it. So we're going to leave this top part of our leg locked, and we're just going to kick up like this. Once again, 30 repetitions. Take your time. As we're beginning these exercises, especially if you have arthritis in your knees, your mobility may not be able to go parallel to the ground, and that's completely fine. Just work within your comfort level, and over time, this range of motion will increase. Following this, we're going to have glute kicks. For this, I highly recommend that you grab onto some sort of countertop or the top of a chair. And what we're going to do here is place our left hand on the countertop if we're doing this with our right leg. And all we're going to aim for is bringing our heel right up to our glute. So just like this. Make sure when you're doing this, though, that you're not kicking your whole leg back. Keep the top part of your leg straight, and we want to make sure that this whole range of motion is coming from the knee joint right here, because we'll do hip mobility stuff after this. So for the knee, you can do ball kicks, you can do glute kicks, and then we'll move on to the hips, which is the next joint. All right, so now we're going to start working on the hip joint, and for those that don't know, that's the joint that's going to be associated right here. So all the movements that we're going to do, we're going to try to keep the rest of our leg locked, and we're going to focus on this joint right here. So the first thing, make sure you have a countertop like before that you can grab onto, and we're going to do front leg raises. Now with this, we're going to grab onto the countertop, keep our leg locked, and we're just going to try to go parallel with our leg. Just like this. And you're going to feel it right here. And like I've said before, if your mobility isn't there yet, go to your level. If you can only go this high, that's perfect, because over time this range of motion is going to increase. Following this, we have cross body leg raises. So we're still going to stand with the hand on the countertop. We're going to take our leg, keep it straight, and we're just going to go across our body like this. Stay within your comfort level as always. Finally, these are called standing jacks. You may not need the countertop for this. You can put your hands on your side. Just like if you were doing a jumping jack and your legs come out, we're going to remove the arm piece from this. Hands on the side, and you're just going to take one leg at a time and just come out like this. You may feel this in your glutes, and you'll feel the hip joint opening. With all three of these exercises, as always, aim for 30 repetitions, but break it up to however your exertion level allows you to. All right, so now that we've accomplished the lower body mobility movements, we're going to move to the shoulder joint now. So same with hip. When we're dealing with the shoulder, we want to keep the elbows locked so that we're putting all our attention on this joint right here. So the first thing we're going to do is called hugs. And what I want you to do is have your hands at your side, and then just like you're going out to hug somebody, just raise them up like this. Same thing, we're going to do 30 repetitions. Following these, we're going to do T raises, which we're going to keep the elbows locked. We're going to go right up into a T, just like so. Once you've completed both of those, we're going to do backward raises. So a good cue for this is to act like you're skiing and you're pushing the poles back. So you don't have to hinge. If it makes it more comfortable, you can. Hinge down, kick your arms back, everything within your comfort level. And then once we've accomplished all three of these exercises, we're just going to finish with 30 arm circles. Go into that T-pose position, and then we're just going to do 30 small arm circles. You can do 15 forwards, 15 back, and then that'll cover everything for your shoulders. The last two mobility exercises that we have for our daily routine are going to involve the elbow and the wrist. So the first exercise that we're going to do is just a weightless bicep curl. So we're going to make sure we stand up straight, arms at our sides. We're going to face our palms towards the outside of us, and you're simply just going to raise your arms like this. If this is too easy of a movement and you'd like to start strengthening your biceps if your mobility gets good, a good prop to start with is just 2 canned foods. It's very light, and this will show your comfort level if you're ready to incorporate weights into your daily routine. So just like before, keep it facing out, straight up. 30 repetitions. Following this, we're going to do wrist curls. You can do these seated or standing. You're just going to stand with your wrists facing outwards. You're going to take your knuckles and you're going to drive towards the inside of your forearm. Just up like this. As you can see, my mobility is not good here. And then we're going to flip our wrists and we're going to go up this way. 30 repetitions with both sides, and that covers our full body mobility routine. To incorporate this with strength training for anything that we do, whether it's the ball kicks, the glute raises, the hip stuff, we can add ankle weights, and that's going to start strengthening all those joints. And then with the upper body stuff, holding a light dumbbell will get the job done. But as a beginner, start with body weight and then work your way up. So now that we've incorporated a mobility/strength training regimen into your daily routine, it's going to be important to start incorporating aerobic exercise. Aerobic exercise, which some might call cardio, includes exercises such as walking, swimming, bicycling, and doing other activities such as water aerobics. There's many benefits, and similar to the strength training piece, you're going to see an increase in bone density here, which is going to lead to strengthened bones. And you're also going to see an increase in the strength around your joints with those muscles. So if you go on a daily walk, you're going to notice an increase in the muscles that are around your hip joints and your knee joints and your ankle joints. If you do water aerobics and you're incorporating a lot of arm movements, you may feel strength increasing in your small accessory muscles in your shoulder. Now, according to the Mayo Clinic, one should strive for 150 minutes per week of aerobic exercise. And this ranges from low to moderate activity. You don't have to do anything strenuous. Some major cues here are to stay at your own pace. If you feel any pain or discomfort, taper it down to a level that's good for you. There's activities that range from impact, and you really want to find your impact level that's not going to cause much pain. And what I mean by this is an activity such as swimming is going to be very low impact on the joints compared to going on an incline walk. So those activities range from swimming to bicycling to intense walking. That's a good impact range from low to high. Following this, one can incorporate heat and ice into their aerobic exercise regimen. So before doing an exercise, if you're going on a walk, you might want to use a heat pack on your knees and hips for 20 minutes. Then you'd go on the walk, and when you get back, you may want to use ice for 20 minutes. Always remember that heat comes before ice because we want to loosen the muscles before, and then we want to decrease the inflammation afterwards. Another thing mentioned by the Mayo Clinic is that starting at a threshold of 10 minutes per day is a pretty good benchmark. If you feel that this is too easy for your comfort level, you can increase, but stay at your own pace. Make sure the aerobic activity is something that you enjoy and you're comfortable with, and you're going to see increases in your small accessory muscles and the joints loosening up. So just some final thoughts on the topic overall as we've wrapped up all the information being stated previously. Exercise is one of your biggest friends when it comes to dealing with arthritis. I know it can seem like something to be scared of as you see the symptoms of decreased range of motion, the inflammation, the pain, but as one exercises, these symptoms are going to be combated and decrease. Your biggest assets are going to be the mobility exercises that I demonstrated, making sure you're on a consistent aerobic program, as well as utilizing heat, ice, stretching, and other modes to decrease your inflammation. I'd like to thank Carol, age 87, for recommending this topic to Professor Pagan, and thank you for watching.